Welcome to the Vol Bros, presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother Ruston, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And as always, we're proud to represent the University of Tennessee on the Believe Entertainment Network. This is the 300th episode of the Vol Bros. Very, very exciting. Happy 300th, Ruston. We have quite a bit to talk about tonight. I went with the baseball and softball intro tonight because baseball is playing as we speak, and softball had an absolutely fantastic win earlier this evening. Let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about basketball, and we can talk about baseball as it unfolds before our eyes here. What do you think about the Lady Vols win over LSU tonight? 5-0 win over LSU.
Yeah, it was good to see Sage Marjetko step up and fill in for Carlin.
Complete game shutout by Sage Marjetko.
Threw really well. And as we've been saying for the last 21 wins, they got bats. I mean, Mackenzie Butt with another home run, Talon Hawley with another home run. They manufactured 2 other runs. This team can hit. 9 hits on the game. This team is going to have a huge year.
The one you just mentioned, the 2 home runs, Talon Hawley's home run. Holy freaking moly. That was that swing was gorgeous. Pitch low and outside, literally perfect form, perfect swing. And she just unloaded on that thing. 240-foot home run in softball. 240 feet. She killed that thing. There is not a softball park in the country that would have held that ball. Just absolutely obliterated it. How big do you think it is for the Lady Vols that they had Sage step up and throw a complete game shutout in the absence of Carlin?
I mean, anybody can watch this team and go, the pitching depth is unreal. Sage can go out there and get you a win. Aaron Newer can go get a win. I mean, the crazy thing is Maddie Rattan hasn't pitched hardly at all, and she was the conference player of the year last year in the Ohio Valley Conference. She's their everyday starter at third base, but in a pinch, she can go give you really good innings. So they've got incredible depth everywhere.
Definitely a luxury, not only to have that type of depth in the pitching circle, but to have that kind of be able to hit the ball the way they are in the batter's box now. Very, very exciting evening for the Lady Vols. And let's be honest here. That was a really good LSU team. They beat 5-0 tonight. Like that was impressive. Very impressive win. For those of you who are watching us, welcome. You probably also have an eye on the baseball team. Wright State's in town. If everybody remembers, that is the same Wright State team that just a few years ago, Drew Gilbert had his famous bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, walk-off grand slam. The stuff storybooks are made of, man. It's incredible.
And who ended Vanderbilt's season last year.
Yep. This is a good Wright State team. So we knew it was going to be a good series. They're currently in the top of the 8th inning. It's tied 3-3. Manny Marin just kind of got handcuffed a little bit at short. Awkward, short hop on him there. And Wright State now has a runner on first with 1 out. Brandon Arvidsson is on the mound for Tennessee.
Inning over.
Oh, you're ahead of me. They must have hit him a double play or something.
No, Arvidsson just struck out the dude looking for the 3rd out.
Oh, well, for some reason, mine stopped being live and went back a few minutes. So now I'm live.
We're going to the bottom of the 8th.
I was about a minute and a half to 2 minutes behind live on the.
Yeah. Arvidsson struck out the 2nd out and struck out the 3rd out. 3rd out was looking through a curveball and jelly-legged him.
Well, all righty. So I'm back to live now, so I'll be accurate in what I say. Let's see the comments real quick before we talk about the Lady Vols basketball team. David's with us. Welcome, David. Good to have you. He said, good evening, Evan and Ruston. This Lady Vols team doesn't deserve an NCAA tournament berth, even though they will still get in. They will get in. Kim isn't built for this level of basketball. Watch a mass exodus leave. What's your thoughts on that, Ruston?
You can read his next comment too, because it goes with it.
David said, besides Talasia and the seniors, we're about to lose 3 of the freshmen. My guess is Lauren Hurst, Denia Prawl, and Jada Civil.
I would encourage everyone who watched that game to go listen to the post-game press conference and listen specifically to Nia Robertson's responses. I don't know if they told Nia, you know what, we just don't care. Go answer however you want. Or if Nia walked in that room and said, you know what, I'm a senior. What are they going to do if I tell the truth? Nia, without naming names, called out several of her teammates, and it's not any of the freshmen. And when we got in the second half and we pretty much played 7 girls, 2 of those are graduating. 5 will come back, and then Denia Prawl will come back. She was in concussion protocol. She wasn't allowed to travel. I would say the freshmen will all be back, and I was pleasantly surprised to see Kanaya Boyd respond. I don't know if she'll be back. I hope she does. I think she has huge potential. It was good to see she did not join the ranks of the girls who decided they weren't going to play hard anymore, including the one who didn't step on the court in the second half and then had to be escorted out of the locker room after the game by an assistant coach. I hope that I believe all the freshmen will be back and possibly Kanaya Boyd.
I'm going to keep going through the comments, and then I'll give my thoughts on what we saw yesterday from the Lady Vols here in just a little bit. Let's see. Jonathan, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, hello, Evan and Ruston chat family. Hope everybody had a great week. Don't forget to tell your mom and them about the Vol Bros. Yeah, buddy. Stingray, welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. Let's see. Mississippi Vol said, good Friday evening, all of you. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I think that's great advice. Well said. Glad you're with us, buddy. Let's see. Nolan said, last Vols have fallen to an all-time, I think he means Lady Vols, have fallen to an all-time low. I think that's fair, actually. And that's why I titled this live stream, and I'm going to give my thoughts on that as well. James, welcome, buddy. Said, good evening, Vol Bros. Tennessee baseball aren't going to beat good teams batting 158 on the year. They beat 2 good teams last week out in Arizona. They beat a pretty decent Belmont team earlier this week, and then
they've got to figure out what the lineup is. Like, they're still playing with it. They're still trying to figure out who's where. Blake Grimmer and Garrett Wright bring a whole nother element that, they haven't had a whole lot of chance to look at and figure out where they fit. I don't see a lineup that doesn't have Tyler Myatt in it. I was very surprised that he didn't start tonight. I think that was a mistake, and I think they will probably all look at it and go, yeah, we should have started him.
They got to figure out what to do with Ariel Antigua. He had a home run earlier this week. First one ever as a Vol.
Yeah.
He's not playing short right now. Manny Marin is.
Well, he played the first 7 innings, and then Tyler Myatt pinch hit for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing. I think it's very interesting that they left Jay Abernathy at second and left Wright in center. I was not expecting that tonight. It'll be real interesting to see where they go. I think they're going to come to a place of going, you know what, we just got to have our 9 best bats in the order. It doesn't matter what the analytics say. We just got to have dudes swinging bats. So I think that's where they'll end up in the long run. The other thing they got to figure out is how to get Tegan Coons dialed in. Tegan has given up way too many fastballs in the middle of the zone. The last two outings, he's been hit hard, and it's because where the pitch location is. They've got to get him dialed in on the edges. He throws too hard and too flat to be in the middle of the plate. When he's in the middle of the plate, the ball's going to leave in a hurry.
Elijah's with us. Welcome, Elijah. Good to have you, buddy. Let's see. Mississippi Vols said happy 300th. They appreciate that. Did we just hit a home run or nope? It was foul.
Yes. Is it?
Yeah, they said
the
foul.
Cameraman's confused. Yeah, it was foul. The cameraman lost it. He was not sure where it was.
So there's currently one out in the bottom of the 8th. We had dadgummit. Strikeout looking for Stone Lawless after absolutely obliterating a ball, but right before that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that call. When you're the starting catcher, you're not supposed to get rung up on inside fastballs. Like you keep 90-mile-per-hour fastballs off the umpire. You're supposed to get that call.
It's an unspoken agreement.
It is.
That was a wicked pitch. The dude for Wright State threw just on that first pitch in the next at bat here. Elijah said softball team might be unbeatable. They might be. They are very, very good. I think that ball nicked Reese Chapman's arm actually just then. He's not acting like it did, so I guess it didn't. David said happy 300th. Appreciate that, buddy. Jonathan said happy 300th episode. He said y'all don't look at a day or episode over 200 episodes. Appreciate that. Deborah said hello, Vol Bros. I think Talasia is still outside getting some air.
Did you watch the press conference?
Yeah, that was a ridiculous answer. I can't believe Kim even said that, but essentially she was like, oh, she was being a hothead and had to be removed from the locker room is basically what she said. Deborah, you might get comment of the night right there. That was fantastic. Mr. Osborne, welcome, buddy. He said, good evening, congratulations on 300, Vol Bros. You're a big part of it, man. We appreciate you very much. Elijah said,
she's talking about Taylor
Holly's home run with the stare down and bat flip was beautiful. She did have a bat flip after it. Don't really see bat flip stuff in softball. That's true. Deborah
Taylor's got some dog in her. She's got a little bit of Drew Gilbert in there.
Yep. Deborah said 300 shows from the dynamic duo. Appreciate that. Stingray said happy 300th episode, guys. Appreciate that. Jonathan said I was concerned when Pickens went out with an injury. I know we have the pitching to do all right without her, but she's the key to winning a national championship. I totally agree with that. Let's see. Oh yeah. So when I was talking earlier, Elijah said I think Evan's a little behind. I'm live now though. We just reached really bad on a pitch outside and grounded it. That's not. Is that Levi Clark? Is that
yeah, he is. He's all over the place right now.
That was not a good swing.
He is not seeing the ball well at all.
Let's see. Tony, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said should have hired North Carolina State or Louisville's coach instead of Kim.
If you'll remember, I've been screaming for Wes Moore ever since Holly was hired. Had a chance to hire Wes Moore when we hired Holly, and Wes was told that it wasn't an option.
Elijah said Lady Vols have 0 senior leadership on their team. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Deborah said, I didn't know what was coming with that long pause of Nia during the postgame presser. Sean, welcome. Glad you're here. Tony said, I know Danny White won't admit it, but Kim is over her head. He made a mistake.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think she's in over her head. I think they did a really bad job evaluating the portal, and they ended up again. I've said this ad nauseum. You got to play with what you got, and unfortunately, they did a really poor job evaluating the personalities of the people in the portal. They're learning a hard lesson right now. Um, they need to go in the portal with a purpose, just like Rick Barnes does, and they need to go in and look for toughness and shooting and a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And they just their portal additions have not been what they were supposed to be, and it's killed the season. And then Ruby, I don't think we can understate what a loss Ruby was. But it also speaks to the mental makeup of several of these upperclassmen, that losing a two-time convicted arrest teammate hurt them psychologically so much. It's bad that a girl who gets arrested twice in less than 6 months was our glue girl. That's not good.
Nolan said, is it possible that Kim is going through the same thing Heupel did the last couple of years with getting rid of cancers in the locker room? I want to believe in her, but geez, it's hard to watch.
I think so, but I think the biggest problem is a lot of the cancers she brought in. And again, it goes back to evaluation. I don't think they did a good job really analyzing behind the scenes. Why is this girl in the portal? Like, what baggage are they bringing? What is that? How is that fleshed out in previous stops? It's. I would be very surprised if Denia leaves. Denia didn't make the trip because she got smacked in the head in practice by Lauren Hurst and was in concussion protocol. That's where a lot of those rumors have started from. People miss somebody at a game and they automatically just start inventing stuff. But I don't see Denia leaving. To be candid, if she did, though, of all the freshmen, that's the one I'd be okay with leaving. She's mentally weak and she's physically weak.
Robert said Lady Vols basketball needs players who want to give 100% to be a Lady Vol. I think that's fair. Let's see. Okay, welcome, buddy. Good to have you with us. David said he saw where the Lady Vols are projected to be an 8 seed playing against Virginia Tech.
It's possible.
So if that's the case, then that means the Lady Vols will certainly not make it past the second round, because they would be an 8 seed playing a 9 seed. And if they win that game, then you immediately have to play the number 1 team in your region. So the Lady Vols will not make it to the Sweet 16 if that's the case. Let's see. David said Kim needs a better PR person for the press conferences.
I don't think she cares anymore. When you watch that press conference, she's very quick, very blunt with her responses. They gave her an opportunity for an opening commentary, and she said 2 sentences. I think she's just ready for this to be over so they can go back and fix it.
When you said that about people jumping to conclusions, Johnson said Vol fans would never jump to irrational conclusions. Nolan said if you physically can but don't want to, then you shouldn't be playing any college sports. You don't have the effort or desire to be a good player. David said if I'm Danny White, I'd make Wes Moore or Corey Close say no if next year goes sideways. I think there's no doubt about it. Kim is on the hot seat for next year, and she should be. I think there's no doubt about that. Let's see. Tony said they mentioned on Fan Run Radio that Prawl might go to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I've heard all those rumors too. I'll believe it when I see it. And again, if she does, she's our most physically and mentally weak freshman. I don't see it as a loss.
Deborah said, unfortunately, I don't think Kim does herself any favors in press conferences. I think that's fair. She said, especially post-game. I also think after a loss, players should be brought out to face the music. I think that they strategically chose to not have Talasia meet the press.
Yeah.
After last night. James said, I think they need to show Cooper the door. Kim is a player's coach, and she hasn't had the track record in Division I to demand respect. D1 players are different than anything she's ever coached. Elijah said, man, I love watching Frederick pitch. He's on the mound right now on the top of the ninth with 2 outs.
I agree with what James just said to an extent. I think she needs to decide who she is. And, Rick Barnes is really good at this. He recruits to who he is. And he's very blunt with those kids on the front end about what they should expect and what they're going to receive and how they're going to be treated. I think her coaching staff spends way too much time looking at measurables and not enough time looking at, no, who are we? And I think they recruit measurables, and they need to be recruiting personalities and butt kickers. If you're going to be a team who presses and runs the entire game, you've got to have 10 to 12 girls that are going to go out there and punch somebody in the mouth and tell them about it. And if you don't have that, and you don't have that kind of physical and mental toughness, you can't run that system. Uh-oh.
Yep, that was my reaction as well.
It's foul.
Thankfully, it's foul ball. Dude, okay, so Brady Frederick left one on hanging a little bit on the inside corner of the plate, and dude turned on it for Wright State. And when it came off the bat, it looked like it was going to be. It looked like it was going to be long gone. Now, to his credit, though, Frederick's first pitch in this at bat was literally unhittable. Like, it started at his knees and tailed down to the bottom of his knees. I mean, you can't hit that coming from that arm angle. Nobody can. Like that one. I mean, that was a heck of a pitch right there. No one can hit that pitch. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, we're set up for a walk-off.
Yep. I said struck him out anyways, and then he said time to walk this thing off. So Tennessee moves to the bottom of the ninth, tied 3-3 with a chance to win here in the bottom of the ninth. Let's see. Finisher 3X. Welcome. Glad you're with us. He said, name 3 things that make Kim Caldwell a good coach.
Number 1, she's won everywhere she's been at a high level. Number 2, she won a national championship at the Division II level, which in my opinion is harder than at the Division I level, because the rosters flop so frequently and you never know what you're going to see. And then number 3, and this is what people struggle with, I saw so many people during the game last night saying, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Why don't they do this? She's not giving in. She's going to force them to do what she wants to do. And the ones who aren't willing are sticking out like a sore thumb. It's intentional. And, she already knows that some of these girls aren't going to be back next year because she's not going to let them be back. And so she's not going to allow the ones that are a cancer in the locker room to change her. And people struggle with that, and they get all angry, and they say, well, why is she doing this? Why won't she stop this press? Because she's not going to stop doing what's made her wildly successful everywhere she's been, because of one roster of girls who don't have the mental capacity to play hard. And so, she's going to keep doing what she does, and they're going to look stupid doing it, and then they'll leave. And then in the off season, they'll retool this roster with girls who are willing to play the way she wants to play.
Well, I mean, I'd like to think that, but she had that opportunity last off season and blew it totally.
Well, I don't know.
That's what's frustrating.
Well, but again, I think that comes down to evaluation, and a lot of that goes on her assistant coaches, not her. She's not the one out actively watching the portal. They are.
That's true, but the buck stops with her.
I get that. It does. I guarantee she'll have a much stronger hand in who they bring in the portal this year.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 assistants get fired, because whoever was in charge of evaluating the portal did a pretty crappy job.
Yep. Billy said, do you think Kim will try to be a better coach next year, or does she even care? She will definitely try, because she's going to get fired if she doesn't.
Well, and I think the other thing that goes with that, Garrett Wright with a double, lead off the inning.
Lead off double to start the bottom of the ninth.
I think the other thing that goes into that is what Danny White said the other day. She's the most competitive person in the building. There's nobody more competitive than her. And so, when you're an elite competitor and you hate losing more than literally everybody else around you, you're not going to allow this to continue.
All right, so we're going to have a little taste of how Elander likes to play baseball here. He's got a runner on second with no outs. And actually, let me
Yeah, you got to bunny him
winning
up.
run. He is the winning run on second with no outs. In the
You've got to bunny. Manny Marin's at the plate. Jay Abernathy's a contact hitter on deck. You've got to bunny him up. There's 11 more ways to score from third than second. You have to bunny him up.
So it'll be very interesting to see what Elander does here. Let's see. Got a meeting on the mound for Wright State, so we got a few seconds before they throw the next pitch here. Jonathan said, I don't think after last night Kim can bring Cooper back. She will not. That is
not a chance.
I'm legitimately wondering if Talasia is going to be playing in the NCAA tournament.
I think that's a big question mark. And a lot of it will be determined by how conversations went today. She said last night after the game, they took her out of the locker room, wanted to let her go breathe, which I get that. I've had kids like that before. I understand what she was saying. How it goes today will determine everything. Once everybody's had a chance to go home, sleep, get their head right, come back in. If Talasia comes in defensive and accusatory, she's gone.
Let's see.
Good Lord, Manny.
Oh, my gosh. So Manny Marin squared the bunt and then pulled the bat back on a ball literally right down the middle of the plate.
A belt high fastball. Like, it's the perfect pitch to bunt. You can put it wherever you want. Do a freaking job.
So it's 0-1. Here comes the pitch.
They
slashed it. Holy cow, that's the game. He's going to score.
Did not expect that. Josh Elander, did we slash once all year last year?
Never. Maybe not ever in the last 5 years.
Josh Elander just got the entire defense to shift, so all Manny had to do was just slap a ball on the ground up the middle. Wow.
So, in case you didn't see it, Wright State was playing for the bunt. Manny Marin squared early to get him moving. The third baseman came crashing in. Shortstop was moving to third. And then Marin pulls the bat back and swings away, hits the ball right up the middle of the field, right where the shortstop would have been.
Yeah, would have been a routine out.
Garrett Wright, they almost threw him out at play. It was close, but Garrett Wright beat the throw at home to win the game. Man, oh man, what a call. What a great execution by Manny Marin. Holy cow.
Yep.
Wow.
Gutsy call by Josh Elander.
You're not kidding. You are not kidding. That was incredible. Tennessee wins 4-3 on a walk-off slash base hit on the bottom of the ninth. Oh, my goodness gracious. What an ending to that game. Hey, I'm telling you what, that's a good win. Wright State's a good baseball team. That is a good win.
Yeah, they beat Georgia last weekend.
That is a incredible way to finish that game. Well, all righty. Let's see. Some of the other comments came through. Okay, I can't remember the name. I think it's either Jordan or Josh. It's one of the two. I can't remember. Let me know, man, because they don't show the names anymore. They just show the handles. I'm sorry, I can't remember for sure. I know it's one of the two. I'm thinking Josh.
So, yeah, I think so. to his comment though, we have 0 shooters in a 3-point shooting system. I don't think they knew that. Again, I think they saw. Let's take Jersey Wolfenbarger as an example. They saw her as somebody who could be a pick and roll kid who could go down, get them offensive rebounds. She hasn't helped at all. She's been non-existent. They saw Janiyah Barker and thought she's a great high volume shooter. And she at times can be. When she gets hot, she can knock it down with anybody. Nia Robertson averaged 16 points a game last year and had I think it was like close to 40% from three. They thought she was a knockdown shooter. That hasn't played out. That hasn't played out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Janiyah and Nia were the two shooters that they brought in. They thought Nia Robertson was the golden ticket. Like she was the shooter. And she, you know what? She had one game where she either tied or set a single game. I think she broke it. The single game record for Lady Vol basketball, most threes made in one game. She had like 10 or 11 in one game, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Z Spearman has not shot the ball well most of the season. Jada Civil has not. Jada's awesome off the bounce, but she's not a good shooter. Kanaya Boyd's shot did not get any better. So they had what they perceived they had one thing, and in reality, what they had was not that at all.
Yep. He also said we also have the most mentally weak center I've ever seen, Z Spearman. When when Frederick struck the kid out in the inning, Elijah said you could see the batter looking in his dugout and make the I don't know what to do motion. Yeah, no one was hitting that pitch that he threw in the inning.
Mm-hmm.
David said Kim Caldwell is 40 and 22, 16 and 16 in SEC play. Kelly Harper was 45 and 25, 23 and 9 in SEC play her last 2 years. Okay. Besides the UConn win, why is Kim any better than Kelly?
We'll give Kim Rakia Jackson and let's see what her record is.
Let's see. Deborah said Ruston's right. Several of Barnes recruits will say they wanted to be coached hard. Josh, I think it's Josh. Did he tell us yet in the comments? Or is it James?
It's Josh.
Oh, it's Josh. There it is. I called it. All right. Josh said, if Elander and Kim end up being busts, how hot would Danny's seat get? That's fair, man. That's fair. Let's see. Tony said, I've met Kim. I want her to succeed, but this league is much different than anything she has seen. I agree with that. That's one of the things I'm going to say here in just a second.
That last comment, Taylor Tracy's a big-time prospect. He was a top 300 player last year, was expected to be a high draft pick out of high school, and let it be known he was going to Tennessee, and his draft stock plummeted because of it. But if he considered going in the draft, he would have been picked really high. And he's a two-way guy. He will hit some. He'll play outfield in the future, not this year, but in the future he'll get some reps out there. You may even see him get some pinch hits. Big time prospect.
Tony said Barker is a cancer to the team, and Spearman is terrible at times.
Yeah, unfortunately, ever since Ruby left, Z has been terrible.
Z played pretty well yesterday. For how she's played this season, she had a pretty good game yesterday. Josh said she better not get $5 to $6 million for next year's roster. That's not, whatever the percentage is, that's not a choice that the athletic department has. The house settlement mandates that they get a certain percentage.
Yeah.
She had her chance and failed miserably. Allocate the money again to the men's player. We're one shooter away from winning a championship. And when you said she's out, when she said she was out, had to be taken out to get some air, Josh said that's code for she cussed the coach out in front of the team. Probably so. Elijah was pumped up about the slash from Manny Marin. That's what I'm talking about, buddy. Elijah said elite stuff, Elander. Seriously, I don't know. I mean, I legit can't remember the last time Tennessee ran a slash play.
I can't remember one ever.
Yeah. Let's see. John said, I hated to see Wynn leave after the Vandy game. I can't believe a girl that had been there for 5 years to quit with a few games left just because she didn't get to start. It was very unfortunate what happened with Wynn. It was very unfortunate. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why she wasn't on the court more this year.
Yeah.
She was fundamentally sound. Like, she understood basketball, which is more than we can say for a lot of the team.
Yeah, and she was going to give effort. I mean, that's the one thing you knew you would get from her. She's going to play hard.
Elijah said, love seeing Elander celebrate with the team afterwards. Let's see. James, he said earlier, he said the opposite. Now that was pretty good, James. I like that. Sanders said she's got to go. Sanders, are you referring to Kim or to Lasia or who? Let me know. Or all the above. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Jeff, you're exactly right. Jeff said solid win, but that center fielder gave it a heck of a shot and about gunned him down. You're exactly right. Not only did the slide at home, Wright slid head first, but when he did, his feet flew up behind him. So he actually was well under the tag, well ahead of the tag. The problem was his feet almost did him in. The guy caught the ball and tagged his feet almost before he touched the plate. I mean, it was his feet are what caused the problem. Let's see. Josh said, so all the players she brought in have gotten worse under Kim?
I don't know that I would say that. I would say they've all been wildly inconsistent. You just don't know from night to night what in the world you're going to get from them. Like that comment there with Barker's attitude. One night she'll go out and drop 25 and do everything right, and you're like, holy crap, where's this been? And then the next night she'll sulk and pout and take plays off, and you just don't know what in the world you're getting. Yeah. So that last comment about Lucas Ramirez, that's a very valid comment. Lucas Ramirez was supposed to be a Vol, but he got drafted too high and went pro. That's Manny Ramirez's son. That's an 18-year-old that this week hit a home run off Jacob deGrom and Logan Webb in the same week in spring training.
Yep.
Yeah. That dude could be in our lineup right now.
It'd be nice. Elijah said comparing year 1 or 2 to whatever year Kelly Harper was in is unfair to Kim. James made a very good point. He said, as long as Josh Heupel succeeds, Danny ain't going anywhere. You're exactly right. You're going to have to help me with this next name, Londa. And I'm going to guess RH is just.
I don't know.
Welcome, Londa RH. We're glad you're with us. And they said Kim is not the coach to get Tennessee back to the glory days. Deborah asked some fun questions. We'll get to those. I just started those, Deborah. I'll come back to them. Mississippi Vols said that just goes to show maybe Coach Elander will bring some stuff to the table we hadn't used for. You're exactly right. Yeah. I mean, I legit, I don't remember Tony Vitello calling a slash ever.
Mm-mm.
Maybe he did like year 1 or 2, but certainly not since 2022. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking all the games since then. I hadn't seen that. That was impressive. Matt, welcome, buddy. He said, I've been sitting in a stupid plane in stupid Atlanta on the stupid tarmac for almost 2 hours. At least I get to watch the baseball game. Man,
I have a rule, Matt. If I'm in a plane that sits on the tarmac for more than 30 minutes, we need to deplane and get another plane, because I don't want to go in the air with something that you all couldn't figure out why we couldn't take off on time.
Yeah. Yep. Scott said, why would we not let a 5-year senior start? She was loyal to Tennessee. There's no more loyalty in this NIL era, so why not let her start because she was loyal? The team is so
Yeah.
awful. What would it hurt to start for 2 minutes? Her family was there. All right, can I give my opinion on that first before
Yeah,
you
go
do?
ahead. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. Oh, Sanders said she was talking about Kim has to go. Scott, I appreciate that question, man. And I thought about this too. And here's the thing. In high school basketball, you let the seniors start. There's no question. Seniors start in high school basketball. In in college basketball, particularly games that can determine placement and seeding for postseason tournaments. Just because, and this is my opinion based on what I've seen throughout 40 years of being on this earth in college basketball games, just because you're a senior in college doesn't mean you automatically get to start that game. I understand that Wynn wanted to start. She made that very clear post game. I also, let me say this very vehemently as well. I said it just a few minutes ago. I think Kai Wynn should have been playing more all season long. Like, I don't get why she wasn't on the court at all in many games. Like I said, she had higher basketball IQ than maybe everybody else on the team, honestly. I mean, she when she came in the games, you could tell she was fundamentally sound. She knew what she was doing. She understood the game. So in my opinion, she should have been playing way more than she was anyway. So I'm going to agree and disagree here for a little bit. So I agree in that, or I'm going to start with I disagree. So I disagree in that just because you're a senior, if you're playing major Division I college basketball, that doesn't mean you get to start on senior night. Should she have gotten in the game? Yes, 100%. Now, for someone who wants to make the argument that she should have started, the argument to make is Kim rotates out people in less than 2 minutes anyway. So what's the point? What would it hurt to put her in the game to start? Let her start the game, and a minute and a half in the game, you take her out. That's a legit argument. I get that. My thing is she should have been rotating in the game every game, not just that one. She got the shaft all year long. Now, what they also should have done is at the end of the first half, when there's 2 minutes, a minute and a half left at the end of the first half, put her in the game right then. Let her play the rest of the first half at that point. She gets at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes in, put her in. With a minute left in the game, even. I'll remind everybody, Tennessee conceded the game with a minute left, and they were only down by 9 points. There was a single-digit deficit. We're talking about the Vanderbilt game to end the season, Kai Wynn's last game. So if you're going to concede the game anyway, why not put her in then? But they didn't even do that. If what Kai Wynn said is accurate, Kim tried to put her in with 9 seconds left after they had just let them dribble out the clock essentially for almost 30-something seconds before that, and chose not to foul and stuff like that. Why not put her in with a minute? Why wait until 9 seconds? That's a slap in the face, in my opinion. If you wait until then, oh, okay, it's senior night, go ahead. With 9 seconds left, nah, that's not okay. So, should she have played? Yes. Should she have started? Not necessarily. But should she have been rotating in all game long? 100% yes. Because she should have been doing that all season. Okay. That's my take. You go ahead, Ruston.
I agree she should have been playing all year. I agree there's no such thing as starting as a senior in college on senior day. That's just not a thing. I would also add that Jersey Wolfenbarger is a senior. She did not start, and she also did not play. So both of them got left out completely. So it is what it is. I think somebody on that bench, and honestly, I don't blame Kim as much as I do the assistants. When you're the head coach, it's very easy to get caught up in the flow of the game, and your assistant coach's jobs are subbing rotations. So the assistants should have been going, "Hey, Kaya's, down here. We need to get her in with like 3 minutes left." They should have been on top of that, and Kim shouldn't have had to have been trying to figure out when to get her in. So I blame them as much as I do her.
Yeah, for sure. Josh said, do we know if Pickens is available this weekend? Elijah said she was dressed out and did full warm-ups for the game, so she should be good to go.
She actually threw a bullpen today as well. So I think they'll probably take it easy this weekend. I'll be surprised if she throws. Maybe if they need like one inning of closing or relief, something like that. But when your superstar says something feels uncomfortable, you don't push that. You bring her back when she's comfortable to come back. So maybe in a pinch she might come in and give them something. Who knows? Maybe Sunday she'll be good. But you don't rush that.
Yeah, I would expect to see newer pitch tomorrow, and then I wouldn't be shocked if Sage started the third game. Mr. Osborne said, I think the only way Danny White gets fired is if Heupel in the football program fails to deliver results. Although a lot of fans don't like Danny due to high prices, he remains if football is good. You're exactly right. 100%. Slim, welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. South Carolina scout guy. I'm guessing that's what the SC stands for.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I played baseball at South Carolina, but my daughter played 3 years for Holly and is a proud Lady Vol. That's what I'm talking about. He said, Kim has treated alumni terribly. She and her teammates were told they were not welcome at the facility. That is not good. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Go ahead, Ruston.
You may not answer, but yeah, I'm dying to know who your daughter is.
Hey, we'd love to have her on our show. We'd love to interview her on here. Did you play baseball at South Carolina in the mid-90s? I'm just curious. That's a fun conversation all in itself right there. Let's see. Jonathan said, people saying Kim should be fired need to realize Kim is basically the same record Summit had through 2 years. I know she won't ever be Summit, but I believe she will bring us back to prominence. Josh said, just not sure why Danny went with an upstart coach when we have the best tradition in women's basketball. That's fair. He needed to get the proven winner like the Louisville head coach. Scott said she's not smart enough to coach against these great lady coaches in the SEC. Should have grabbed Lawson from Duke. Her team plays hard. Elijah said she's a senior. She should know that playing time is earned in SEC basketball, even on senior day. I agree with that. Tony said it didn't matter who started. We weren't going to beat Vandy anyway. She should have let her start for her 1.5 minutes. Josh said she declined to go in at the end. I thought that is correct. Yes. Kim tried to put Kai in with 9 seconds left, and Kai said no because she felt like that was a slap in the face, basically. John said, my biggest problem with the whole win situation is her refusing to go in when Kim asked her to. Refusing to go in doesn't sit right with me. No, I get that. Absolutely.
Well, don't assume she refused. I never heard clarity on how that conversation
she said
went.
Like she said she wasn't going to go in.
But
in her
was it
she released after the game?
Right. But was it, hey, Kaya, go in? No, I'm not. Or was it, hey, Kaya, do you want to go in? No, I don't.
Yeah,
those are two very different conversations. And most coaches in that scenario, the question is, do you want to go in?
Yeah. Terrence, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, why not play her the last minute of the first quarter and near the end of the second quarter? Yep, that's what I said. Last minute and a half, 2 minutes of the second quarter, put her in, let her play till halftime. Terrence said, putting a senior player in the game with 9 seconds left is a slap in the face. I want to know what happened to Wolfenbarger. Like, did they even give her the option? That was my question. John said it was 15 seconds, I believe, but it's still a refusal to go in, and that is disrespectful to coaches if you don't go in when they tell you to. Yep, that's fair.
But
Elijah
again,
said that is no bueno.
was she told to go in, or was she asked if she wanted to? And those are two very different things. And most coaches in that scenario ask the player, "Do you want to?" So I wouldn't put too much on that.
Jeff said Kim's won everywhere she's been. She's dealing with a lot of firsts this year. Next year will tell a lot. Slim said Danny thought he was hiring a Lady Heupel. Elijah said Danny has too big of an ego to get a coach that has already had success in another high major program because he wants to be his come up hire here. Josh said thoughts on the game tomorrow with Amen out. I think we can still dominate Vandy down low. I'm thinking big carry game coming against his old team. What do you think? Scott said, is Barnes coaching another year or 3? Yes, he will coach at least one more year. He's already talking about next year.
Is Nate Ament officially out?
I haven't heard that, but it wouldn't shock me.
I mean, after the last game, we've clearly decided we're going to establish the post game. So, it would make sense that, Jalen Carey definitely plays with a chip. So
they said he's listed as doubtful.
Yeah. So that means it'll probably be up to him. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be interesting to see how we attack it without that whole game's going to be decided by guard defense, though. If you can slow down Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner, you can beat Vanderbilt.
So here are my thoughts on Kim. I've waited and let everybody else give their thoughts and everything. Here are my thoughts. That I was very upset when the last game of the regular season, they conceded the game. That's what they did. It was a single possession or single digit deficit with a minute left, and they stopped fouling. They didn't even attempt to foul. They conceded the game. And I was out at that point. I was out. What happened yesterday further confirms I'm out. I am out. Here's why. It has never, and I titled this video, has Lady Vols basketball hit an all-time low point? And my answer to that is yes, it has. When in the history of the Lady Vols basketball program has it ever been so obvious that the coach has lost all control of her team and her players? When have we ever had, so many players showing up and very clearly just going through the motions, terrible attitudes, having to be benched? We're in March. The stuff that happened yesterday, having to bench your leading scorer because her attitude's terrible, having to have her escorted out of the locker room because she can't stop running her mouth, that's stuff that happens maybe in November, but typically not even then because you've kicked them off the team before the season even starts. It's March. Yesterday was a postseason game, and she's still dealing with that? Never in the history of Tennessee women's basketball has it ever been so obvious that she has no control over her players' attitudes and desire to play the right way. No control. In addition, I tweeted this out from our Volbros account yesterday during the game. I said, one day, it's going to be a glorious day when it happens. But one day, our Lady Vols will realize you cannot dribble through a double team, and especially not through a triple team. But you can't just dribble through the middle of the lane with hands. Shocker, other teams want to steal the ball from you. Apparently, we don't realize that sometimes. And we try to dribble the ball away from our body, not protecting it, trying to dribble the ball through double teams and triple teams and down the middle of the lane. At some point.
Did you watch Nia Robertson in the post-game press conference?
No, I turned it off before I couldn't. I was so angry I didn't.
So she kind of alluded to that and talked about the fact that, the first time we played Alabama, we beat them because we swung the ball repeatedly and got them out of position, and that opened up driving lanes. And she said it very tactfully, but she said, we just completely ignored that and decided we were going to play, for lack of a better term, hero ball, and referred to, trying to dribble through traps and trying to create things that weren't there rather than just doing the game plan. And after Nia left the table and it was just Kim there, Kim reiterated, the first time they played Alabama, they beat them because they swung the ball repeatedly and they created opportunities. And tonight they just decided they weren't going to do that, or last night. Essentially saying we had selfish players out there who refused to do the game plan.
At some point, you got to take them off the court. I mean,
well, she did. I think we all saw that live.
Yeah, but there were a couple more that apparently need to come off the court. I'll put it to you this way: at one point yesterday, we had both Paldo twins on the court at the same time, which I think was the first time all season that's happened. Maybe they did like back in November or something when we were playing Sally's sister St. Mary's school or something. But essentially that was the first time essentially all season they've been on the court at the same time. We had a lineup on the court yesterday that was both Paldos, Lauren Hurst, Jada Civil, and Z Spearman. It was in the third quarter. We had not stopped them, and I don't even know how many possessions. When we get down, they come down the court. We've got those 5 on the court, 4 freshmen and Z. They actually got a stop. Then they went back down the court and they scored. Okay. We hadn't done that in like 5 to 6 minutes at that point. They come down the court, they get a stop on defense, then they go down and they score. And what happens? They are promptly 3 of the 5 are taken out of the game. I'm like, what the heck are we doing? We actually did something positive. We get a stop on defense. We come down the court and we score, and we immediately take 3 of the 5 players out of the game. That's the coaching staff. I know you mentioned she's not coming out of the press and stuff like that because she's going to force her players to play that she wants to play. But unfortunately for Kim, she doesn't have the players that she wants to play. And that was once again, like we said earlier, that was a total whiff by the entire coaching staff in analyzing the transfer portal. Nia Robertson, I don't know what happened, but she was supposed to be the shooter. And we saw it one time this whole year.
She's playing hard though.
She is. That's why, I'll give her credit for that. She dove on the floor yesterday.
That's why they brought her to the post-game press conference. Like, she is giving great effort.
Yeah, I ain't going to falter for that for sure. But here's the biggest thing that I think everybody's been saying, Kim hasn't had to deal with stuff like this before. And here's the biggest thing that I don't think Kim's ever had to deal with before. She has never had an ego of Talasia Cooper or Janiah Barker She has never had this level of egos in her players before, because she's been coaching Division II players or players who came to Marshall because they wanted to play Division I basketball, and that was where they got an offer, and they're going to go bust their tail for Marshall University. She's never had to deal with this level of egos in players who think they're all that in a bag of chips and that they're God's gift to basketball. And I mean, it's almost a situation where fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. It happened at South Carolina with Talasia. It's happening here now. Janiyah Barker, this is her third school. In my opinion, Kim and her staff have an unbelievably important offseason ahead of them, because if they don't get this thing turned around, she will not be back year after next. She is on the hot seat next year, because right now, I'll say this again, I think not only is there, the question is, has Lady Vols basketball hit an all-time low point? And my answer is yes, because we have players who are literally quitting on their team and coach because they're not getting their way. We have lost more games in a row than we literally have ever since what is it, like 1976 or something like that? They've lost. I can't remember. The numbers on Twitter. People were tweeting it yesterday. They've lost more games in a row. We had literally the worst deficit loss in the history of our program this year against South Carolina, which came on the heels of a 40-point loss to Connecticut. And to top all that, prior to this year, the worst they had ever done was lose 6 of 7 games. That's the worst they had ever done in like a 7-game stretch. I think we've now lost 10 of 11 games. It might even be 11 of 12 games at this point. Numerically, attitudinally, this is the lowest point in Lady Vols basketball history. There are literal numbers to back that up. And it's very unfortunate. Sherry said, I can't believe you guys are blaming the kids when it's Kim's team that she selected. She simply isn't coach for our team. And I pray we don't keep her thinking she can turn it around. Sherry, my guess is you just joined us, because we are not just blaming the kids. I just spent the last however many minutes saying that Kim should be on the hot seat, and I'm out on Kim. So,
but let's also keep in mind, they're not kids. These are 18 to 22-year-old adults who are getting paid.
Yep.
And they're not playing hard. So it goes both ways. The coaching staff has to make some major changes. They've got to overhaul this roster. But those girls also need to do some soul searching and decide if they really, I used to tell high school players all the time, there's 3 types of players in the world. You either like it, which means you're just probably going to play in high school. You might get some offers if you're pretty good, but you probably don't need to go to college and play because you just like it. Or you love it. Those are the players who end up signing. They go to college. They end up being pretty good players. They're probably role players. Or you live it. And the ones who live it are the ones who become transformational players in college. They're the ones who eat, sleep, and breathe it every day of the week. And right now we've got, in my opinion, probably 3 girls who live it, and the rest all just kind of love it or like it. And You have to have, if you're going to be a championship caliber roster, you got to have 10 to 12 girls who live it.
Prime example, look at Connecticut. Nancy said on Sports Source Sunday, the guy that he was an assistant coach to Bruce Pearl said he walked in on their practice and it looked like an AAU game going on. Sounds hectic to me. I think their games on the court look like an AAU game too, but I agree with you, Nancy.
That would be Mark Pankratz.
Jeff said, I would aim it tomorrow. Vandy was very physical with him before. Just wouldn't take the chance right now for him to tweak it or something going into tournament play.
That's possible.
Terrence said, I think it was Terrence was his name. He said, in watching the Lady Vols this year in close games, I noticed three things. Number one, team looks undisciplined. Yeah, I agree. They do not value the basketball at all. It is very, very turnover prone, to put it that way. He said, lack of self-control. The team does not look to move the ball or make an assist. Yeah, man. There is no offense. They might come down and run a couple dribble handoffs. You might have one pick and roll, but that's it. It's not what Kim wants to do in her system, and it's not adapting to what she has. It's this weird no man's land of we don't have an offense, essentially, and ultimately that falls on the coaching staff. That's why I'm out. Josh said, remember, Danny didn't hire the two best coaches on our campus the last 30 years. Tony said, my pet peeve is when they miss free throws or foul and turn the ball over, they give each other 5. Drives me nuts. Josh said, Paldo's got to go. Dad is Nico's dad 2.0.
Unless he gets invasive with the coaching staff, the coaches typically don't care about the parents. It's when the reality is they don't even have to speak to them if they don't want to. Obviously, you want a good relationship, but technically they're dealing with adults. The parents don't exist. So, Nico was unique because of his Polynesian background. His dad was the patriarch of the family. He did whatever his dad told him to do. And it was a religious experience for him. But, this is a little different.
South Carolina scout guy said the rumor is that Talasia asked about coming back to South Carolina through some current players, and Don told her no. I totally believe that, 100%. I totally believe that.
All you have to do is look at the quotes when she left, both from her and from Don Staley, and know that bridge was fully burned when she walked out the door.
T Rose said hot seat is 100. He agrees that it is. She is on the hot seat now. Tony said the inmates can't run the asylum. It's very simple. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely. Jeff said understanding a player's mentality is every bit important as performance. I also agree with you, Evan, about egos. Again, another first I was referring to next season is going to tell everything.
I would even argue at the college level, the mentality is even more important than performance.
T Rose said need to check to make sure Olivia and hadn't changed her mind.
Adidas already made sure of that. She won't be changing her mind.
Yeah, that's fair. Sherry said, I'm sorry, I'm really upset, and exactly, they're not kids, I'm just angry. I get it, Sherry. I understand. I'm angry too. It's very frustrating watching them turn the ball over so much. David said this season will definitely affect the 2027 Lady Vols class in recruiting. Yeah, I think it will. Listen, if I'm a parent, I'm watching this going, is Talasia going to be back next year? Is this how Kim, if she can't adapt to her players? I mean, there's a lot of questions, I'm sure, right now.
I'm just going to tell you, because I'm around these kids all the time right now, they couldn't give a crap less. They don't know what's going on. They're not paying attention. They don't watch any of the games. That might catch people by surprise, but they don't. Current recruits don't watch anything. They have no idea. All they know is, what's my NIL deal? That's the only thing they care about.
Josh said Kim's need to take a page out of the Barnes playbook, Zakai, Mari Evans, and on and on. Get players that fit the system. Who cares about the 5 stars? Well, to be fair, Mari Evans was pretty highly touted coming out of high school.
4-star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Troy Henderson would have been a better example. He was a 3-star that a lot of people passed on.
Deborah said, on a bright note, my 11-year-old grandson hit his first free throw last night. That's what I'm talking about. That's excellent. That's fantastic. Well, let's go back because Deborah asked a good question earlier. Let's go back to her question. She said, Volbros questions, what are your favorite UT sports? Which sport does Ruston enjoy coaching, non-UT, even though he's capable? So what are your favorite UT sports? I mean, for me, football is number one. Like it's amazing. Like how could it not be? Right. I love basketball. Obviously I love baseball, and the Lady Vols have made me love softball. It's fun watching them play. It's fun watching Carlin pitch. It's fun watching these kids hit this year. But football number one, and then basketball number two for me.
I don't have a favorite. It's whichever season it is. I can sit and watch every inning of a baseball or softball game. I will watch every second of a basketball game, and sometimes watch it back a second time. And typically every football game I will watch at least once, sometimes twice.
Baseball is a close third for me.
Yeah. As far as coaching, I would choose basketball every day of the week. I enjoyed coaching football. I enjoyed play calling. But I've said this on here before, calling offense at the high school level or the college level or the pro level, in my opinion, is the most stressful job on the face of the earth. More so than calling defense. I think defensive coordinators have it easier. I think head coaches have it easier than offensive coordinators do. So I enjoyed coaching football, but way too much stress. And I would choose basketball first pretty much every day of the week.
James also asked, what's your thought on Jermod McCoy not doing anything at the combine? Do you think he is hurting his draft stock?
100%.
And I think
we talked about this the other night. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah. Because I mean, listen, here's the deal. It's not just, do we think he's hurting his draft? Like he is hurting it. I mean, that's now been said by NFL draft people. He was projected to be potentially all the way at one point. He was the number 9 overall pick projected to be, and then it dropped to 11, and then it kind of went down. Well, now he may not even make it in the first round, because he tore his ACL at this point 14 months ago. 14 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
13 months whenever you consider when the combine was. And he wasn't able to do anything at the combine. That objectively speaking, that would be a major red flag to every scout who was there.
Yep.
Let's see. Some of the other comments that came through, Scott said, what about Bruce Pearl foray at Tennessee? Bruce will not coach at Tennessee again.
He's not going to coach anywhere. He's done.
Yeah. Josh said, would you rather this year Tennessee men make a Final Four, softball win national championship, or softball win national championship? If I can choose to win a national championship for Karen Weekly, I'm choosing the national championship. David said, Ruston strikes me more guidance counselor than high school principal. Did both of them, right?
I did counselor for 1 year at the very beginning, but large majority of my career was as senior administrator. Whatever role that is at this specific school, they were all different titles.
James said, if they televise Vols pickleball, I'd watch it. Josh said, saw something on X today that Tennessee is one of 11 teams that fits the national championship criteria. Top 40 offense, top 20 defense. Would love if this team was one to make a magical Final Four run. You need everybody to get healthy, that's for sure.
Yep. If everybody's healthy, they could do it.
Jonathan said, I agree, James. If they had an underwater basket weaving team, I would be their biggest fan. James said, I try to keep up with Vols golf on social media as well. Yeah, for sure. And listen, if there's a year to watch Vols golf and keep up with it, it's this one, because they got, Jack Harrington and Lance Simpson, both of whom, I mean, Harrington was runner up in the U.S. Amateur. That's incredible. Simpson had a better overall score in the U.S. Open this past year than Shane Lowry. So I mean, like, this is the year to watch some Tennessee golf, no doubt. Let's see. Josh said, I don't think we're as bad as some of the common fans think about our basketball team. We're a matchup nightmare for most teams. So like, yeah, no doubt. They just have to get rid of their weird offensive droughts that they go in every once in a while, where they go several minutes without scoring. That's the thing. Scott. Oh, this is good. He said, can we go into the WNBA and find players for Kim's team? That's pretty good. Deborah wants to know what age group you like to coach basketball.
I mean, high school was by far the most rewarding. I'm coaching my daughter's 6th grade team and my son's 8th grade team right now. 6th grade girls are a lot of fun. They actually listen and do what you ask them to do. I have a really good group of 8th grade boys. They're good listeners. They're highly competitive. They give great effort. So, a lot of it depends on the makeup of the roster. If it's a group that really listens well and wants to play really hard, then it's an enjoyable thing. That's kind of what Kim's struggling with right now. She has a roster of girls. Half of them want to do what she wants to do and half don't. And that's a miserable place to be.
Yep. Smokey64, glad you're with us. They said, how about them baseballs tonight? Yeah, man. Walk off / base hit. That was pretty sweet.
Tennessee's pro day for football is March 31st. That's 25 days from now. If Jermod McCoy is listening, I would encourage him to schedule as many physicals with pro teams as humanly possible.
Yeah, seriously.
Between now and the 31st to prove that he's healthy. And then at pro day, go out and put on an absolute show.
Yeah, but he has to. He has no choice.
He could salvage his draft stock if he does that. If any of them reach out and ask to have a physical performed and he, kind of dawdles or procrastinates or puts it off, he's killing himself.
Yeah. Well, let's finish our show with what I've come to very much enjoy on Thursday nights. This week it's a Friday, but we've been ranking stuff lately. And this week we're ranking, and y'all let us know in the comments what you would rank this as well. Mine's going to be kind of controversial. Deborah asks, who do you think will throw passes to McCoy on pro day with Joey gone? Probably George. Yeah. Jonathan said, so basically we need a team of anywhere from 6th to 8th grade girls for Lady Vols. That way they'd listen to the coaches and play hard.
Size disadvantage might be a problem.
Yeah. The Paldos ain't much bigger. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So this week's rankings, y'all let us know in the comments what you would rank. Top 5 places to eat in the Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area. Ruston, you want me to go first?
Yeah, because I forgot about it again.
Well, I feel very confident in my top 4. Like I'm firmly committed to my top 4 for very specific reasons. Number 5 was very difficult for me. So I'm going to start with number 5 and I'll work my way up. I think you and I are both going to have the same number 1. Number 5, I put Log Cabin Pancake House. It's right there, I think, on Airport Road or whatever it is, right there. That road that goes up to in Gatlinburg, that goes up to the Park Vista Hotel. Listen, I could have put a lot of things for number 5. Okay, I could have put Calhoun's. I could have put, because it's right there in Gatlinburg. I could have put Smoky Mountain Brewery. It's great. It's right there next to Calhoun's as well. James, you may have just hit the nail on the head, buddy. He said number one has to be Apple Barn, Chef's Kiss. Yep, that's a fair point there, bud. I could have put a lot of things for number 5. I did not include Pancake Pantry in my top 5. It would have been number 8 or 9 on my list. And I know that's going to catch a lot of hate. But here's the deal. Somebody let me know in the comments. Does Pancake Pantry even accept cards now? Like for years, they didn't. And you had to pay cash. Who does that? I mean, it's, and so that was a frustrating thing. It's very difficult to get in there. And the breakfast is just as good, if not better, other places. So, yeah, they have a really cool window up front, but that's about it. That's all the Pancake Pantry has going for it, in my opinion. So, number 5, Log Cabin Pancake House. Number 4, Flapjacks. Now, listen, I know there's like 17 Flapjacks in Gatlinburg. I get that. But I have a very specific one that I'm referring to. When you in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, there's like, 17 of them. But when you are just driving into Gatlinburg, there's a Flapjacks on the left-hand side of the road. That is the best place. The views out the back window is gorgeous. The food is fantastic. It's so good. All the food there is so good. So number 4, Flapjacks, left-hand side of the road going into Gatlinburg. Number 3, Cherokee Grill, also in Gatlinburg. Cherokee Grill is fantastic. I love their fried catfish. It is excellent. I've got a lot of good memories going to Cherokee Grill up there. So that's number 3 for me. Number 2, Paula Dean's Restaurant in Pigeon Forge, in the island in Pigeon Forge. And there is one specific reason why that's number 2 on my list, and that is the catfish. The fried catfish at Paula Dean's is literally, I'm not exaggerating, it is the best fried catfish I've ever had anywhere in my entire life. If the words catfish just melts in your mouth could be said, it would be said about that catfish. It is incredible. It is the best catfish I've ever had anywhere in my life. But number 1, just like James said, number 1, unequivocally, the Apple Barn. It is my favorite restaurant on the planet, actually. And that is not an exaggeration. We over spring break, when my kids get on spring break this year in March in a couple of weeks, we're going to Gatlinburg. And one of the reasons we're going is specifically to eat at the Apple Barn. Like, that is one of the reasons why we're going there. We have built it into our game plan for the day. So the Apple Barn is undoubtedly the number 1 restaurant in the Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg area. And hey, I'm gonna tell you what, one of the best things about the Apple Barn, you go get the apple butter in the general store, bring it home, you got it for weeks. It's wonderful. They have a ice cream parlor there, the creamery. It is fantastic. The apple cinnamon ice cream there is unbelievably good. They do some fine work at the Apple Barn, and I love that place. So that's my top 5. Number 1, Apple Barn. Number 2, Paula Dean's Restaurant. Number 3, Cherokee Grill. Number 4, Flapjacks. And number 5, Log Cabin Pancake House. Let's hear your top 5, Ruston.
At number 5, I've got the Heirloom Room. It's a creekside restaurant up in Gatlinburg. They have a lot of traditional American dishes, but they also have a lot of wild game. And it's a pretty unique experience. A lot of their menu is from New Zealand. So it's a unique place. At number 4, I've got Song and Hearth, which is inside the Dreammore Resort. It's Dollywood's prime restaurant. really, really good menu, great food. Sometimes they have a buffet that's all made from scratch. Just a really, really great place to eat. And you don't have to stay at the Dream More to eat there. You can just walk in and have dinner. Number three is not an actual restaurant, but it's a guilty pleasure. I'll go with the Donut Fryer, um,
Oh,
which is the donut place in Gatlinburg,
in
up
the
up
village.
near, yeah, in the village. Number two,
That's
I
my favorite area of Gatlinburg. That's a cool area.
mhm. Number two, I completely disagree with your pancake pantry hatred. And you
Do you
are
have cash or do you have card?
you're essentially a communist. But the pancake pantry, even though one of our children almost died there, the pancake pantry is fantastic and my favorite place to get breakfast in Gatlinburg. And then number one is the Apple Barn.
Absolutely. How could it not be, right? It's so
Yep.
good. Man, the apple fritters that they bring you, oh my goodness. They got the powdered sugar on them. They bring the apple butter to dip them in. Woo!
For those of you who don't know,
2 weeks, baby. I'm going to be there.
the front door to the pancake pantry is literally right on the street. You take one step onto the sidewalk, then step two, you're in the road. Um, when my boys were like, I don't know, 3 years old maybe, one of our kids decided to bolt and took off out the front door, and I caught him in the street. For those of you who've ever been in the village in Gatlinburg, that is a street that is never not busy, and he just ran right into oncoming traffic. So, if you have small kids, Pancake Pantry might be one to avoid for a few years.
I do have to say, we've had some hilarious comments come in, by the way, as we've been doing this. I'm very much looking forward to reading these. Let's see. But I do have to give one really funny story about the Cherokee Grill. So our game plan for the day was we were going to go this particular time we were up there. We were going to go have breakfast at Flapjacks, and the one in Gatlinburg, and then for dinner we were going to go eat at Cherokee Grill. So we get to Flapjacks. It's like 10:15 in the morning. We're waiting, for our table or whatever. And we were like, you know what? We should probably go ahead and call the Cherokee Grill and get on the reservation, get us a table reserved. So I call them and I ask them, I was like, hi, do y'all do reservations? And they said, no, we don't. I'm sorry. And I said, well, that's okay. And I said, do y'all do call ahead seating? And they said, yeah, we do. And I said, somehow worked around. I said, okay, we're planning on coming there tonight. And no, I remember what happened. I said, we're planning on coming there tonight. Do y'all do reservations? And they said, no, we don't. And I said, oh, okay. And they said, but we do call ahead seating though. And I said, okay, can I call ahead right now? And they said, yeah, sure. I said, okay, well, we got 10 people. We'll be there about 6 p.m. And they said, okay, we got you down. We'll see you then. I'm like, I don't know the ins and outs of call ahead seating and reservations, but it sounds a whole lot like I just made a reservation. It just cracked me up. I said, because they were like, well, we don't do reservations, but we'll do call ahead seating. And I said, can I call ahead right now? And they said, yeah, sure. I was like, okay. It cracked me up, man. That was one of the funniest things that's happened in Gatlinburg. That was really good. Let's see. Jonathan gave us his four. It's on down here a little bit. David said Frank Allen's, Peddler's, Apple Barn, Blue Moose, and Huck Finn's. So we actually just got a Blue Moose in Chattanooga. I hadn't been there yet. Peddler's, that one doesn't surprise me at all. That's a good choice. I've never heard of Frank Allen's. I need to know about this place. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. That I've never heard of Frank Allen's. Now I'm gonna have to look that up. Billy said, see, we learned stuff on the Vol Bros. I like this. Billy said, I can't participate. I'm hardly in Gatlinburg. I understand, buddy. Scott Scott Hill said Sonic. Then that must definitely be different managers than the Sonic we have here down the street from our house. 'Cause it's awful. It is like the other day, my wife and my son and her parents were in the drive-through at the Sonic. All they wanted was a cup of ice water and like 3 other drinks. Like that's all they ordered was 4 drinks, one of which was just an ice water. They get up, they waited for over 20 minutes for 4 drinks. And when they finally get up to the window, they said, "What did you order again?" Well, we had a water. That's what we had. It was ridiculous. David said, "I'm a Sevier County native. Technically, Frank Allen's Grill is Sevierville." I got to find out about this place. That's great. James said, "Dick's Last Resort just for the atmosphere." Deborah said, "I hadn't been to the Smokies in years, but the Peddler Steakhouse used to be the bomb. My first experience was the Peddler in Chattanooga when I lived there, but it may be gone now." Whoa, Deborah, you're from you've lived in Chattanooga? That's cool. That's where Ruston and I are. That's very cool. South Carolina Scout guy said, "My daughter and her husband live in Sevierville. I'm going to have to use this list the next time I head up there." Yeah, buddy. Go to the Apple Barn. Go to the Apple Barn. It is amazing. It's amazing. I still want to know who your daughter is so we can interview her on our show. I'll tell you what. Just email us at. Do I have it on here? I think I have it on here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Email us at thevolbros@gmail.com. How about that? We would love that. Thevolbros@gmail.com. I'd love to hear her opinion on the current, state of Lady Vols basketball as well. Let's see here. Deborah said, "I'm saving this episode for the food recommendations." Deborah let me know the difference between call ahead and reservations. So call ahead means you get there at next available seating for 10 people. Reservations mean your table's ready when you get there. I got you. Let's see here. Some of the other comments came through. Jonathan said, "My top 4 is Dixie Stampede." Hey, there you go.
That's Dolly Stampede.
Yeah, now it's Dolly Stampede. That's true. Flapjack's Pancake Cabin, the specific one you mentioned, Evan. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Bennett's Barbecue. Oh, nice.
That's pretty good.
Mama's Farmhouse. I forgot about Paula Dean's. That's the 5th one. David said, "My sister and cousin still live in Sevierville and Kodak." That's what I'm talking about. Deborah said, "You have to peddle a lot of cash when you go, though." Jonathan said, "Thanks for reminding me about Paula Dean's." That's catfish, man. It's so good. James. Hot take here from James. He said, "Paula Dean's is overrated. Come on down to Northeast." My son is shocked that he's sitting in front of me over here. He's shocked by that. He said, "Come on down to Northeast Tennessee. Family style is our specialty. The kitchen in Jonesboro or the farmer's daughter in Jonesboro, both family style. Good catfish too."
Or any random house in Piney Flats or Bluff City. They're all going to be better than Paula Dean.
Okay, this comment from Scott is even more hilarious, knowing that he chose Sonic as his favorite. He said, "Paula Dean's gives me gas." But Sonic doesn't. It's the best. I love it. David said, "If you have the money, Blackberry Farm in Townsend." Now that's interesting because so coming from Chattanooga, typically you just go on up through Knoxville, through Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. But you could go through Townsend into Gatlinburg the back way. It's real pretty. We did that one fall. It was beautiful. So that's good to know. Blackberry Farm in Townsend. I'll have to remember that. See, this is great. We're learning stuff. Billy said, "I'm going to try to remember these restaurants when in Gatlinburg." Absolutely. The Apple Barn. Go to the Apple Barn. It's in Pigeon Forge. It's amazing. When you get up in Gatlinburg, go to Cherokee Grill. Let's see. David said, "My choices are based on being a local and not a tourist." I got to go to that Frank Allen's place. I think that was the name of it. Frank Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Billy said, I never had apple fritters before. Oh, Billy. Well, let me tell you, buddy, there's a place called the Apple Barn. They will bring them to you. That's another thing about that. What's so beautiful about the Apple Barn. You get a full meal. Like you get an appetizer, you get a salad, you get the apple fritters, you get your entree, which is huge, and you get dessert, all included. It's the bomb. It is and that little apple julep drink that they bring to you at the start. My daughter loves those. It is the place, man. James said it will always be Dixie Stampede to me. I love it. Deborah said, I'm starting to think if you go to the Apple Barn and say Evan sent me, they're going to know who you mean. I love it. Hey, Apple Barn, not a sponsor, but you definitely could be. I'm just saying.
He's just politicking for a sponsorship.
Yeah. Jonathan just said Apple Barn definitely could be a sponsor of the Vol Bros. James said the apple fritters are heavenly. I agree wholeheartedly. James said like the good Lord made them himself. Apple Barn, our DMs are open. We will gladly be, promoting your apple fritters to the whole hillside of everyone. Oh, that's another thing. They have a whole hillside of apple trees at the Apple Barn. It's really cool. Seriously, Apple Barn, call us. Like, no joke. It'll be great. This is good. Now I've learned some stuff. Now I know where to go. David said, oh, David, you're selling me, buddy.
Now I know where he's talking about. Okay, I do know what that place is.
He said Frank Allen's Grill has been voted best burger in Sevier County for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I want to go there. I'm going to go look it up and find it because apparently I need to go to Frank Allen's. David, thank you for enhancing our lives with this information about Frank Allen's. I appreciate that. So next week, what are we going to do next week for our rank them? Well, was it last week or the week before? Somebody had a really good suggestion. It actually might have been David, the more I think about it. Somebody said, Jonathan said, I think Evans made it his mission to say Apple Barn as many times as possible the remainder of this podcast. Yes. Somebody said, it was either last week or the week before that, we should do the top 5 what ifs in Tennessee athletics history.
David, isn't Frank Allen's Grill, isn't it in a gas station or attached to a gas station or right next to a gas station?
Mr. Osborne said, is there a PAL's sudden service in Gatlinburg, etc.? So here's the thing. I really like this idea of the top 5 what ifs in Tennessee history. Like, what if Butch Jones says to use Alvin Kamara more than he did? What if he had never said somebody fell on a helmet? So I like that. I like that idea. What if David Cutcliffe had never left? Oh, there's so many things that you could say. What if Butch Jones hadn't had a barbecue? Or not Butch Jones, Bruce Pearl. Sorry, I had Butch on my mind there. So what if Bruce Pearl had never had a barbecue? Like, there's so many what ifs. I love that idea. So next Thursday night, that's going to be the top 5 what ifs in Tennessee athletics history. What if Peyton had gone pro and not come back for his last year? Like, there's so many different things you could do. It's going to be so fun. Mr. Osborne said, I'm an ETSU grad, so I know about PALs. Yeah, buddy, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, if there was a PALs in Pigeon Forge, that would have been on the list.
Deborah just beat her own record with comment of the night. She said, "What if there was an apple barn in Chattanooga? I would live there."
Okay.
They
Yeah,
would be a sponsor of our
I
show.
know exactly where Frank Allen's is. It's in a gas station.
Jonathan said, "What if Butch Jones could coach when it came to game days and didn't rely on a chart that made no sense?" David said, "Yes, Ruston has been around since 1953. I knew Frank Allen, who passed away a few years ago. His main grill cook is my best friend's mom." That's cool. Mr. Osborne said, "What if Johnny Majors wasn't fired?" Interesting. James said, "If you ever come to Northeast Tennessee, make sure you stop by Powell's Sudden Service. Get you a big pile of cheese if you were there for breakfast cheddar rounds."
James, 40% of my body mass index is comprised with Powell's. My go-to
Ruston
is a
went to
big
school in Tri-Cities.
Yeah, my go-to is a big chicken with a fry and a peachy tea.
Robert, oh, this is a good one. Robert said, "What if Hennon hadn't torn his ACL?" That's a good one. So that's going to be a fun one next week. Deborah said, "You win, Robert." That's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be next Thursday. Here's the thing. This Sunday night, my goodness, there's going to be a lot to talk about. We'll have a complete series in both baseball and softball. Both teams started with wins tonight. We're going to have a season finale basketball game to talk about. It's going to be an important evening. So we hope that James said, "Love the big chicken. I get a peach mellow yellow." There you go. It was so good to see all of you here, Mr. Osborne. It was good to see you again too. I absolutely love seeing you on here. I'm glad we ain't got to see you a whole lot lately, so I'm glad we got to see you tonight. We appreciate everybody chiming in. We appreciate all the great restaurant suggestions. I'm going to have to go to Frank Allen's Grill now. James said, "The Dr. Enough from a fountain drink is amazing." Ooh, there you go.
True statement.
Jonathan said, "Great show as always. I'll see everybody Sunday night. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe." Absolutely. Hey, let me say this. I don't talk enough really about the Ooltewah Club on here. I know I mentioned at the start of every show and it's on our screen all the time, but those folks are awesome, man. They really are. They are really good at what they do. We have a whole lot of content coming in very, very short time from the Ooltewah Club starting tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm recording a Break 50 episode, like if you've seen with Bryson DeChambeau on his channel. I'm recording a Break 50 episode with the club champion from the Ooltewah Club. His name's Richard Spengler. They're so fun to work with, man. Anytime we have any idea about doing any kind of show, they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And they come to us with ideas. Like we were out playing the other day, and the head pro there, Tom Durbin, I said, "Hey man, I'm trying to break 80," and I was doing okay. And he said, "Hey, what if we did a video like, can I break 80 with Tom being my caddy and that kind of stuff?" And I said, "I will literally record that any day." I said, "You name the time, literally any day, and I'll record that." So I'm very excited. We got a Break 50 with Richard Spengler recording tomorrow. 2 weeks from now, we're recording a Break 50 with the 3 pros there at the club. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we got a lot of stuff coming from them. I look forward to that. It's warm outside, which is nice. So we're going to start recording a whole bunch. Let's see. The last few comments that came in. James said, "Not a lot of people know about Dr. Enough." It's a good one.
There's nothing like a cold Dr. Enough in a glass bottle.
Hey, Bobby, it's good to see you, Bobby. He said, "Go Big Orange." Absolutely. Coming to us from Kentucky. We appreciate you, man. David, that might be the winner there. He said, "What if Matt Mock didn't come in for Rohan Davey?" Ooh, that one hurts actually a little bit, David. Deborah said, "Thanks again for 300 episodes." Hey, I appreciate that. It's pretty awesome. This is a 300. That's very exciting. Jeff said, what if Fulmer chose to go with Stewart instead of going with Manning when he was rotating them? Yep, absolutely. Billy said, great show. Hey, we appreciate you, Billy. Thank you, man. Mississippi Vols said, see you Sunday. Have a great weekend. Go Vols, baby. Absolutely. Let's see. James said he gets a 6-pack of Dr. Enough every week from the local Ingles. He said, it's my adult beverage after a long day. Dr. Enough, the hard drink. That's right, man. I appreciate it. Mine's Dr. Pepper or Cherry Coke. I like cherry. Actually, hey, I'm going to give you a little shout out here too. I am now hooked on Baja Blast, Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
No.
There's no way it's healthy for you. Like it shouldn't be green, but it is.
Do not put that in the
amazing.
same sentence as a Dr. Enough. No.
I really like that. I really like that Baja Blast. It's good stuff. James said, great show, gents. Have a good weekend. Hey, I appreciate that. Robert said, try the frozen Dr. Enough. There you go.
I would do that.
Stingray said, don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate that. Let's see. Mr. Osborne said, excellent show, Vol Bros. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. And Stingray said, great show, bros. Have a great weekend. Go Vols. Absolutely. We do hope you join us Sunday night. That'll be a fun show. 9 p.m. Eastern, just like always. Jeff said, great show again. Don't forget to pray for each other along with our troops. Absolutely. 100% agree. We hope everybody has a great weekend ahead of you. Go Vols, baby. And we will see all of you very, very soon.